Yo, welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet VGC video. I'm your host, Jose Rocks, and today we have another episode of Journey Through VGC. The current format we are in is Regulation H. Y'all ready? Let's get into it. Holy smokes, so we are back with another one, and I have a really good banger for you guys today. So this is going to be a Hisuian Braviary and Sneasler team. And Hisuian Braviary is such a cool Pokemon in this format. It's an interesting take on side spam. And the Typhlosion is also, one of the, I would say it's maybe top 15 Pokemon in this format. And I do think Sneasler is top 10. Whimsicott and Ursaluna have always been a very strong core, and you have a lot of good synergy on this team. So you have a lot of good mons, even though we have like what you may consider a niche pick with Braviary. I think that Braviary is really cool in this format. So what Braviary can do, it's a cool Pokemon because it gets a signature move called Esper Wing, and Esper Wing gives Braviary a speed boost whenever you go for it, right? So Braviary is a really cool mon when you're leading it next to Indedee because it's flying and psychic type. So before you terrestrialize into psychic, expanding force is a single target move, and it kind of plays in a way like Terrapagos, right? With Terrapagos, before it terrestrializes, its move is single target, and after it terrestrializes, it will become double target, right? Same thing with Hisuian Braviary. Expanding force, instead of getting like weaker, how Terrapagos Tera Starstorm gets weaker as you terrestrialize because it becomes like double target. Expanding force doubles in power and it gets a boost from the terrain, so it's just doing a lot more damage once you terrestrialize it, right? And it's really cool because you can bait out a lot of wide guards with this strategy. You're not locked into using like your spread expanding force, or you can just go for Esper Wing if you feel like Braviary can sweep your opponent's team and they don't have good speed control. And you just go for Esper Wing and get that speed boost, and you're pretty much outspeeding everything in the format once you get to +1 that's not Dragapult, right? And if you need to outspeed Dragapult, then that's why you have Whimsicott on the team. So it's a really cool strategy. It has a really amazing ability which is called Tinted Lens. This means that whatever it hits for neutral damage, it's gonna still hit. I mean, whatever it hits for resisted damage, if like let's say Incineroar is not a good example. Let's say like Gholdengo, right? Gholdengo's a steel type, right? Or even like Steel Tera or Archaludon, they usually take resisted damage from expanding force. Now when you hit them with expanding force, it's going to hit them for like its neutral damage, right? So they still get one shot by it, and they can't take like a life orb expanding force with helping hand from Indedee, right? So it's a very strong strategy. It can really sweep a lot of teams, and I'm very impressed with how fun this team is. And the Tinted Lens is just a really cool ability. The only counter into Braviary really is like Dark type, but you can still hit Dark type with like Heat Wave, right? And you have other answers on your team that help you deal with Dark types, with why this team has such good synergy. Incineroar can be an issue for Braviary, but other than that, you're still hitting it for neutral damage with Heat Wave, and if the sun is up by the Whimsicott, then you're still doing really good damage to Incineroar. And like I said, we have a lot of good Incineroar counters on this team. So next we have Typhlosion. We decided to go with Choice Scarf Typhlosion. Choice Scarf Typhlosion is really good because it gives you a good answer into opposing like Typhlosion Whimsicott teams that usually like to go with like choice specs, and this gives you just a leg up when y'all both go for like Tailwind, and this one has a choice scarf, so you're gonna always move first. And usually those Whimsicotts on those teams don't carry Focus Sash, so you will be able to just pick up the KO on the Whimsicott. But if you don't pick up the KO, you can always like switch in Indedee or something, right? Because they're usually gonna encore your Whimsicott. But you just go for that Tailwind Eruption. You bring them down below like half, like around their 40-30% of their health left under Typhlosion, and their eruption just not doing much damage. But other than that, when your opponent just doesn't have a good answer into like Tailwind plus eruption, then this Typhlosion can really just sweep teams, right? We have Solar Beam for coverage just to hit some of those bulky water types. We really don't have a way to hit water types for super effective damage on this team, so it is a really good answer into like Dondozo. When Dondozo just is on the field and it hasn't used Tera yet, you can just hit it with Solar Beam. And usually once you hit it with a Solar Beam, they'll like to terrestrialize Typhlosion, and you can just switch Typhlosion out from that point, right? And then come back in and use your fire type moves. Also into Dondozo, the Braviary, just going with Indedee plus Braviary, it can't really quick Earthquake into you. Get your Esper Wings up to get your speed boost up on Braviary, and then just start sweeping your opponent or not doing a bunch of damage to Dondozo with expanding force in the terrain. So this is kind of similar to like how Flutterman used to chip down Dondozo, when you really didn't have to have a Dondozo answer, you just have Flutter Mane do big damage to it. That's kind of what this team likes to do with like Braviary and Typhlosion and Bloodmoon, to just deal big damage to Dondozo. That's kind of how you deal with it. Indedee, like I said, Indedee, a really good Trick Room setter, a really good redirector, and it sets up terrain that protects Braviary from priority moves once you go for your Terastallization, and it protects Typhlosion from priority moves where you can switch it in once Typhlosion is like kind of positioned to like really sweep your opponent. It just keeps you from being able to be hit by priority, and that's very valuable in this format. Indedee is also really good at just protecting Sneasler, because Sneasler is actually going to be what I consider like a huge meta call in this format. I think it's the best fighting type in this format, and a lot of the things that you can bluff with this team is when they see Indedee plus Sneasler, they think that your Sneasler is going to be Psychic Seed, right? But we're actually not running Psychic Seed because we want to make sure that we are a counter into Incineroar, which can do pretty well into Braviary and Typhlosion, which are your main sweepers, right? So with that being said, Incineroar does like to come out and intimidate Sneasler, and when Sneasler gets intimidated and its attack damage is reduced, it's just not as good as it usually is, right? But now that Sneasler has the clear amulet, we don't have to worry about it intimidates from like a random Hitmontop or a random Gyarados or Salamence and stuff like that, and we're able to just still put out a lot of damage. So this Sneasler set is really cool because that's Dark Tera, so it gives you an immunity to one of your 4x weaknesses, which is Psychic, and you're able to hit them Ghost types and Psychic types back for super effective damage with Throat Chop. It's really good coverage, and I felt like this Sneasler really needed this coverage because if you don't have Throat Chop and you just run like Swords Dance and Fake Out, or Protect and Swords Dance, or even like Fake Out and Protect, right? Then you're just not able to touch Gholdengo if it doesn't Terastallize, right? So I think that Throat Chop is really cool, and a lot of the times when your opponent sees Sneasler go for Throat Chop, and they'll Terastallize their Gholdengo, trying to get away from that super effective damage, and you can just read that and go for a close combat into the Gholdengo and still one-shot it. So it's a really cool strategy. Sneasler also, instead of Unburden, since we're not running Psychic Seed, we do want to run Poison Touch, right? And Poison Touch is really cool because it allows you to poison mons with Throat Chop in close combat. So usually only Dire Claw can status them, but now anything that you touch them with the Throat Chop in close combat, you're able to pick up a poison. So sometimes you can like KO through like a Marascarada Sash when you go for close combat, and then get the poison. Then you don't have to worry about targeting to it next turn, right? Because you got that one hit KO due to the poison. So it's really cool, and it pairs really well with this with Indedee, and it's a good counter into a lot of the things. Like maybe you have a Steel type that Braviary has an Assault Vest. It's still, Braviary still deals with Steel types pretty well, but it just gives you another answer into those Steel types, and also forces like Dark types to have to Terastallize so that you can hit them with Braviary. So it's a really good synergy with that mon, and it's really cool that they're this is like a Hisuian based team, because even Ursaluna, the regular form is from Hisui, Braviary is from Hisui, Typhlosion is from Hisui, and Sneasler is from Hisui. So it's a really Hisui based team, and I think that's really cool. And another thing about the Indedee is that what it does cause when you play with the Braviary is that what I've seen a lot of opponents do is that they forget that Braviary, once it's Terastallized, that it's not on the ground. I mean, that it's on the ground now, and they'll still try to like go for priority into it, because even after Braviary Terastallized, it's still floating in the air, right? And I think that's really cool because a lot of opponents will still use their priority moves and not know that Braviary is actually touching the ground. So that's really strong. Ursaluna here, we went with the safety goggles simply because Ursaluna usually likes to carry Life Orb, and we needed Life Orb on Braviary just so we can get that extra damage output. I could have went like Twisted Spoon on Braviary, but I really wanted the Life Orb Heat Waves in the sun to be able to do a really good amount of damage, right? So that's why we decided to go with safety goggles on Ursaluna. This also gives you a way around like a Mungus, and you know, even if you like they have Trick Room up or something, they go for a Spore and Ursaluna. This gives you like a really good synergy with that. If you not really a fan of safety goggles on Ursaluna and you recreating this team, I would say maybe go with like Silk Scarf or something like that, because as you'll see in the video, Braviary really appreciates that Life Orb, right? So, but you can also just swap out the items and give Braviary Twisted Spoon and give Ursaluna back the Life Orb. But I do think that safety goggles is a really cool pick here, and it did come into effect in some of the battles. The rest of that is a standard set: Normal Tera, Bloodmoon, Earth Power, Hyper Voice. It's just here to help you deal with like Incineroar and like King Gambit and stuff like that, that the rest of your team probably doesn't want to deal with as much. and it just pairs really good with Whimsicott when you go for like Tailwind and Hyper Voice or Blood Moon, and then you're able to like bring in Indedee-Braviary in the back, or even Sneasler, Typhlosion in the back, and it just helps you, you know, start off the game by chipping things down so that your sweepers could come in and pick up the clean up the rest. So it's really cool with that. And last but not least, we have Whimsicott. So Whimsicott's going to be running the Ghost Tera to help you get around Fake Out. It's really good on those leads with Typhlosion where you can just go for Ghost Tera, Sunny Day, and Eruption, just to get around Fake Out, right, and surprise your opponents. And a lot of the times your opponents don't like to click Fake Out in the Whimsicott because they'll usually think that it's carrying like a Covert Cloak or something like that. So it is a really strong set with the Sunny Day, which also supports the Typhlosion and Braviary. It also helps you with those rain teams that really want to have the rain up, and just removing that rain allows the rest of your team to thrive, right? Moonblast is really good coverage into some of the dark types that can kind of give Braviary trouble. And with Whimsicott being max special attack, Moonblast is still hitting for really good damage into dark types. And last but not least, we have Fake Tears. So Fake Tears kind of like helps the Ursaluna pick up those KOs that you might not be able to get when you need it, as well as if you have it next to like Braviary or you have it next to Typhlosion, that Fake Tears is able to really give them a boost and push their damage output to the next stage, right? And it's really strong against, like when I told you Dondozo is another answer into it. Going for Fake Tears and then sweeping Dondozo with like a Braviary or Typhlosion or Ursaluna is also really strong, and it just gives you another unique answer into Dondozo, so that you're not just relying on like Haze or like Clear Smog, right? You could just beat Dondozo with raw damage, and that's kind of the way that Dondozo used to be beat in like Regulation B, and that's kind of like how this team will have to beat that that core, because you don't have something like a Haze or a Clear Smog on your team. So, but that's going to be it for this team breakdown. This team is really strong, and there's a runner code up at the top right, as well as a Poke Page down in the description below. Let me know in the comment below, guys, what you guys think about this team, and if you want to give it a try, let me know. But that's going to be it for this breakdown. Let's get into these battles. So we have, he has Double Grass, Rillaboom, and Sinistcha. I wonder if that's some type of strategy. So he does have his own terrain, though. Gastrodon, Scarlet, Arcanine, and Florges. But he doesn't have any Psychic Resist. And he can switch in like Scarlet to help with Typhlosion. But that doesn't solve all his problems, right? I can kind of go for a crazy lead, like lead to both of these, and pressure switching in Psychic Terrain or going for Eruption. And he has to answer both of those, right? And that's pretty threatening in itself. I know I want to go with Indedee in the back, so now it's just my third. I don't really think I need Tailwind here. He has Double Grass plus Gastrodon, but he does have 2 fire types. But Florges can probably be kind of annoying with the special defense, so I'm gonna go Sneasler, because I know Florges can go for like Calm Mind stuff. I don't see what else it would do on this team, and that can be kind of hard to break if I don't bring a physical attacker. So we're gonna go with Sneasler. Alright. So this is kind of spooky because he led pretty good here. I think I just want to go ahead and switch into Indedee. If he doesn't have an answer to this, then he might just lose like both his mons if he doesn't switch in Rillaboom this turn. If he does have Rillaboom, I'm going to pivot Indedee back out into, at this point, I don't really need Typhlosion, right? He didn't make the switch. So this is what this team kind of does. Like, it forces your opponent to guess whether, you know, you going with the Eruption or the Expanding Force. And even if he goes for like a Tera Steel, as long as it's not Tera Dark, with Tinted Lens, this is still hitting super hard. And he went for Shadow Sneak. Howl is cool, but I mean, Scarlet might just get knocked out here. Rillaboom's definitely going to come in next turn, so we can pivot that out into Sneasler. Pressure switching on. Oh, Scarlet does survive. Oh wow, is that Assault Vest? I took that a lot better than I thought it would. Alright, so I think Rillaboom's gonna come in here this next turn. I don't think I can KO that thing with an Esper one. I'm gonna go into Sneasler and I'm gonna protect. I think you go into Rillaboom if you have it here. He doesn't switch. While he is Tera Steel, that wasn't gonna help him. Did he not bring Rillaboom here? Alright, but now he's just threatened by a Sneasler. He has to kind of Rage Powder here. Oh, he's Calm Mind. Yikes. I'm gonna throw Trap Sinistcha. And Expanding Force. I don't know if he's faster than me. I don't think that he is. But Sinistcha has to Rage Powder here, right? You kind of just lose last turn if I just go for Follow Me. Oh, he doesn't protect. Oh, that did nothing. Poison is cool. Alright, who's faster between these two? No, we're faster. And that's just a double KO. Let's go, Braviary. This mon is crazy good. Alright, and I'm still learning this mon, so I don't really know the damage counts. But that was incredible. Yeah, I don't honestly... It's going to be tough for him to come back from that. So he's really slow on Scarlet if I was able to outspeed him. Braviary. But Florges just can't do anything here. This is just a clean 4-0 sweep. Battles Council, let's go. Yeah, that's the thing. You can't defensively Tera against this type of Expanding Force. Like, you only thing that you can use is Dark types. And we have Sneasler on the team to deal with those Dark types, right? So it comes up really clutch. And also we have Whimsicott, which has Moonblast, which also does a lot of damage to Dark types. So that's pretty cool. Let's get into the next one. So we have Sun in our next match. We also have Typhlosion. And we also have Whimsicott. We could go for the play, which is whose Typhlosion is faster. But I'm modest, I believe. Let me verify something. Yeah, I'm modest. But I am Choice Scarf. If he's Choice Specs, then we would go first. Venusaur would probably. I mean, Tailwind plus. I think we should be faster. Yeah, I pretty much gotta lead this. And then Side Spam to close out the game. If he brings King Gambit, we can just go Heat Wave or Braviary, so we don't really need Sneasler for this one. Side Spam just looks so good into his team too, outside of King Gambit. I wonder if his Whimsicott has Trick Room since he has all of these. I have to be careful about Trick Room Whimsicott. He's cover a cloak. There's no way you're Trick Room without Focus Sash. Alright, he's gonna know him faster since he's Choice Specs. You can't survive without Focus Sash, right? So I'm free to go for Tailwind Eruption. We're gonna hit first. And Whimsicott is not Focus Sash, so there's no real fear here of Trick Room going up. Yo, Frisk is so huge here. I think it values us more because we have Focus Sash on run. So I know with Covert Cloak, you can't make the play of like protecting and setting up Trick Room, right? Oh, he still is going for an eruption himself. We're gonna outspeed because of Choice Scarf. There's his Tailwind. His is still Choice Specs though, so it's still gonna hurt. I would hope they did over 50%. He's Choice Specs, so let's see how much his is doing. Oh, he went for Overheat. Oh, Overheat into Whimsicott with Sash. Wow, he actually blew his special attack, and now we get another full powered eruption off with Typhlosion. Plus, I'm gonna put the sand up. That was actually a huge misplay. Maybe he was reading into me swapping out. Okay, you can go for Sucker Punch here, but I still think this eruption is doing a lot of damage. Actually, I can just outplay my opponent switching Indedee here. And just bomb his... Because he's not doing any damage at -2 with his Typhlosion. And plus we resisted, right? I don't even have to worry about the Sucker Punch crit here. Like, Indedee is such a good bring here. I think the only way he stays in this game is to protect King Gambit. If he goes for Sucker Punch, this game's over. Yep, GG's. Nice. King Gambit survived that? Oh, it's gotta be Assault Vest. There's no way that's not Assault Vest. Alright, he targets me. Oh, that still did almost 50. That's Choice Specs Typhlosion for you. That's -2 resisted. But Typhlosion is not that bulky anyway, but it's kind of crazy when you think about it. Trying to get Braviary and kind of close this game out. Yep, battle was canceled. Let's go. That had to be King Gambit Assault Vest. There's no way King Gambit survives that. I know King Gambit's bulky, but come on now. This is Fire Tera Eruption. And this is why you should, if you're going to use the Choice Specs variant of Typhlosion, you probably should be using it on the Swamp teams. I think it's better when they can always move first. Because if you're using the specs with, unless you have like a better lead into Typhlosion, like my opponent literally just didn't have a better lead into Typhlosion, just like I didn't. And so when you going against the mirror match against Whimsicott versus Typhlosion, the one who has the choice scarf is gonna pretty much win that matchup every time. Now he could have did more damage if he would have targeted out my Typhlosion, but I still felt like we were fine because we had Braviary and Indedee in the back. And Braviary has Heat Wave, and I was just gonna set up the Sun next turn with Whimsicott, so Heat Wave is gonna just KO pretty much everything else, plus Expanding Force. But let's get the Sunroom team with Gallade, Torkoal, Indedee, Lilligant, Oranguru, and Ursaluna. So I can lead it. I think Indeedee's always strong here. Like, Indeedee's side spam just works here. We threaten reversing Trick Room with Indedee. I like my own Typhlosion. Because he could like lead Indedee plus Gallade and go for like white cards. So I think I like Sneasler too since it has Protect. And it threatens the Ursaluna with a one-hit KO. Gallade is scary with the option for going for wide guard. But Braviary is perfect into Gallade because we resist Psycho Cut and Sacred Sword. Gallade wide guarding here would be scary. He has to be worried about Imprison Trick Room, right? I'm just gonna go for it, man. Helping Hand. If he doesn't wide guard here, then we just double KO. Should be. Like, these two look like they are able to stop Trick Room, so I wouldn't be surprised if he just goes for attacks here, expecting me to imprison. Dang, well played. He just went straight for the Trick Room. So he's clearly gonna keep clicking wide guard here. Let's try something a little bit different. So he's literally stuck clicking wide guard. What is up with this thing? Oh, it's Focus Sash. Okay. Nice. Now he knows I have Esper Wing though. If he clicks Wide Guard again, then he's the god. That Expanding Force did a lot though. Brings out his own Indedee. Finally, he didn't click Wide Guard. We finally got him. Alright. Is this KO delayed? Oh, it KOs Indedee too. Tinted Lens is so good. Oh my god. Alright, so we get the mind games right. Eventually he has to just not click Wide Guard, right? But at any point, I'm gonna punish him. But once he's seen that Esper Wing, he's like, okay, he got something else that can hit for a lot of damage. And it's crazy because it's almost like just because you resist it, you still get hit neutrally by Expanding Force. Like, there's nothing you can do about it besides be a dark type, right? And that's really cool. And now he doesn't have any Wide Guard, so. This is the last turn of terrain? It is. He does put me in a precarious situation where he can protect and have to target one, but I still think it's fine to just click it here. And I'm just gonna target down the Oranguru just so you never get tricked him up. Oh, unless it's Dark Tera. I think that's what he's going for here. Oh, he didn't Tera in the dark. Okay, GG. I should have clicked Dazzling Gleam with Indedee, just to cover for Oranguru being Dark Tera. I know I've seen some Dark Tera Oranguru before, but I mean, Expanding Force is just a clinic here. He's not surviving this. This Braviary is incredible, man. I love this mod. Yeah, GG's. And Expanding Force feels so fun with this mod because it's unique, because it doesn't automatically get Expanding Force because it's a flying type. So that means it's not touching the ground, so it can't usually use Expanding Force. But once you tear it, you don't have to be locked into it. So I could have went for like Expanding Force, still did a lot of damage to Oranguru, and not have to worry about the Wide Guard. But as soon as I Tera, the Expanding Force just becomes double targeting and just does so much more damage, right? So I think that's a cool, unique thing that it can do. You can choose when you want the Expanding Force to be double targeting. But that was a cool game. Let's get into the next. Arudo here, Arudo. And he does have a dark type. Tyranitar. So he does have a switch in, but he doesn't have terrain. Gholdengo can't really deal with this. I can't really safely spam Eruption. I think Indedee Ursaluna is cool here to prevent him from wanting to set up Tailwind with Talonflame, and then I can sweep with Tailwind plus Braviary in the end game. Actually, no. We're gonna need Sneasler for Tyranitar. So I'm making the chance that with Ursaluna and Indedee lead, he's not gonna want to like play towards like Talonflame, Tailwind. We're making the call. Gholdengo, Talonflame. I mean, I actually underspeed you. You can go T-Tar, right? My Ursaluna does have a lot of speed investment, so I gotta be careful here. I'm gonna go Trick Room. Bloodmoon in this slot. I could have went Water Tera. Yeah, he's just going all in on offense here. If he doesn't set up Tailwind here, we'll be in a good spot. Oh, I mean, that's fine. This shouldn't one-shot it. Oh. I underestimated how strong that is. I underestimated how strong that is. I wonder if he goes for Tailwind here, though. But I have no real bulk on Ursaluna because of how speedy it is. Oh, but he went for taunt. We may outspeed Gholdengo here. Yep. Oh, it's so close. If I had a helping hand on Indedee, we would have got that KO. Alright. Can I take a make it rain at -1? We do survive. Oh, he Tera. Wait, I can one-shot Tyranitar. Ah, but the sand's gonna tick me out. I can just go for another expanding force though. Whatever comes in is gonna get knocked out if he swaps. And then I just have to hope Sneasler can beat whatever's in the back. I'm just gonna go for Esper Wing. I may need the speed boost just in case for some reason I survive. Yeah, so we just gotta hope Sneasler can beat whatever's in the back. I do have Dire Claw though, so I can probably just poison something. It would be so dope if I could survive one more turn. Yeah, but we're Tinted Lands and not Sheer Force. Oh wait, can I survive? Oh, 1 HP! Let's go! And it's Garchomp! Ah, he does have a Earthquake though. But I did go for Esper Wing. If he doesn't have Protect here, then we could be in a good spot. I mean, he's gonna one-shot me with Earthquake anyway, right? So we pretty much just gotta hope that he doesn't have Protect. He does. Well played. The sand is gonna tick me out. I think my win con here is to go for Dire Claw. Gyre Claw and hope for a sleep. We do get a paralysis. Oh, we get the full para. Alright. We're gonna get one shot by anyway, so we should just go for first combat here. Oh, it's so close. Can we get another full para? One more? Oh, there it is. Alright, well played. We played towards our outs. If we had got the sleep though, this game would have been over. Well, I mean, he would have burned the turn of sleep immediately, so we'd have had to get 2 turns of sleep. But we played towards our outs. That was a fun game though. So we have Sunmoon here. This looks like the team that Cybertron showcased, right? Glade is really strong on these teams. But I think that Hisuian Braviary and Indedee has a good matchup into it. I like my Sneasler since I have Dark Tera. I could lead Sneasler. But I think Galade's gonna come out here. I actually kind of like Sneasler on lead. I think I want to go with Sneasler. Typhlosion and Ursaluna. I think we leave Braviary here. Because I really don't want to play the Wyguard games with Galade. And I think if I Braviary is kind of like a Tera bot on this team. That you really want to be tearing it so you can go for those powerful expanding force. And also it takes advantage of the terrain, right? Alright, Galade and Indedee. I think Galade's going to attack here and Indedee's going to go for a trick run. Right. So I'm just going to throat chop Indedee with Dark Tera. And Dazzling Gleam. Then the following turns, I can go for Follow Me to protect Sneasler from the Sacred Sword. I don't think you ever just click Sacred Sword into Sneasler when you have Psychic type damage. I might have should have went for Helping Hand and secured a KO. I still think this gets the KO though. Sneasler's base attack is really high. And I kind of want the Dazzling Gleam chip on, oh, he switches Galade. Is this a hard switch? What? I mean, my opponent just knows he's getting a trick on here, right? This is bad if I don't KO Indedee here. Oh, it does survive with a smidget of health. Oh, the Helping Hand was gonna do it. Should have the Helping Hand. Alright. If I reverse trick him here, I'll be in a good spot. Honestly, he should target Indedee. Dang, I had the right play, but now I know though, because I'm still using this team. But if you guys are playing against this mode, Sneasler is good here to deny Trick Room. You need to go for the Helping Hand to secure that KO. I don't think Earthquake is gonna do it for Indedee, but he didn't click a move with his Indedee. Oh, he KO'd it though. Nice, and we reverse Trick Room.
So Galade's gonna come back out here. I don't know if Dire Claw gets it. I think it's just gonna fall short. But Dazzling Gleam may be enough to pick up the KO. Also, we got a chance of a status condition here. I don't know if Helping Hand Dire Claw will still get it. His Gallade is sneakily bulky. When you don't have to invest in none of the speed stats, right? If we put it to sleep here, I think the game's just over. Oh, you click Y guard? I think my Sneasler, because I didn't click close combat yet. I think I can survive Earthquake. If I survive Earthquake with Sneasler, I think this game's over, right? I mean, I know you have Ghost Tera with Ursaluna. I'm surprised he didn't Tera there. Well, wishful thinking. Now we gotta make the call if my opponent. I should just close combated there, but I don't know if Bloodmoon gets the KO here. I think I gotta target the lead here. Would he click Y guard again though? I don't think you click Y guard here. Well, he might. There's so many things to go for. I think I'm gonna double up into this because I kind of need the KO here. Yes, we get this turn right. Oh man, this turn was sketchy. That's the KO. Crit didn't matter there. I was gonna get the KO. Although it would have been sweet if we could have. If I would have known we would have got a crit, I could have targeted Gallade. Gallade can get a full pair at any point as well. Oh, it's Armor Rouge. He still has expanding force pressure, doesn't he? How many turns of Tyranitar left? Just one. Yeah. I'm not gonna take a expanding force here. So I hope he knocks out Typhlosion since I'm locked in a flamethrower. I believe Gallade is Psychic Tera too. Alright, Gallade is down. I don't think Gallade can one-shot us with whatever move it has, but I think he's gonna go for Grass Tera here. I think I think it was Grass Tera. It's either Grass Tera or Psychic Tera, right? But if you're Grass, why wouldn't you go for it last turn? think he's Grass Tera, man. Oh, he didn't even Tera. But you went for Expanding Force. That's not gonna KO. Oh, you gotta go for Armor Cannon there. Okay, we still get the win. I could have just clicked Earth Power, man. Maybe he didn't have a defensive Tera. He never Terra'd this game. I'm pretty sure that's the Cybertron team, so I'm almost 100% positive. I say I'm about 98% positive that it was Grass Tera. He just never clicked it though. But we were able to get that win. Let's keep going. Gengar here. And he has no dark types. So this is actually a really good game for Braviary. He does have resistance into Eruption, but he doesn't have Wild Guard. Honestly, like Braviary with Follow Me direction just cleans this team. And I can go with Whimsicott in the end game. And I think I want to bring Ursaluna because Garchomp is pretty hard to deal with Sneasler. What does Sneasler hit? It hits Gengar with Throat Chop. It hits... the poison coverage is actually really good here. But Ursaluna can hit Gengar too, and it's immune to Shadow Ball. I kind of like Ursaluna's damage output here in the end game. I really want to bring Sneasler because I just absolutely love this mon, but I do think that it really not being like it being bad into Garchomp and giving Garchomp, you know, making it easier for him to click Earthquake. He's clearly gonna have Earthquake on this because he has the Gardevoir, which has Telepathy, and the Rotom, which has Levitate, so he can be immune to. They can be immune to Earthquake next to it, so I'd rather not give him just an easy target to click Earthquake into. I mean, I think this is just an Expanding Force clinic. Alright. I mean, what's Sash here? Whimsicott? I think Gardevoir just gets one shot by it, right? And this is so cool. So like I said, you know, in the earlier videos, like, Expanding Force is just so strong. It doesn't matter if you resist it. Because of Tinted Lens, it's like it's hitting you for neutral. This is Energy Ball. That's cool tech for Gastrodon. Oh, you thought I was going for Trick Room? Oh, you have... That's cool. Okay, I'll go for Heat Wave here. Actually, I'll go for Esper Wing. Try to just remove this so I can click Expanding Force. And I just keep following Indedee because I mean you're not really doing any damage to Indedee. I think he'll try to click Tailwind before he gets KO'd. Oh, is this Sash? Of course the Sash is on that slot. So he's definitely gonna click Tailwind here. So I'm gonna Protect and Trick Room. This has Trick Room too. Oh wait, I meant to back and click Heat Wave. Just misplayed. Oh, he didn't go for Tailwind. Oh, wait, I would have just... Wait, he's not going for Tailwind. Did he not just see me get a speed boost? I just missed the opportunity to catch him misplaying. Does he go for Tailwind this time? Huh? Oh, that's gotta be a misplay. What? And this... How are you ranked so high and you make a play like that? Wow, my opponent is top 200, so I'm actually surprised that he made a play like that. That's kind of gonna cost you the game. The Imprison on Gardevoir was really cool. He completely made a misplay by clicking that and not paying attention. So he saw me go for... Oh, I know what it is. He didn't realize that Braviary is on the ground now because Braviary is flying, but I Tera'd into Psychic. So if I wasn't Tera, then he can Encore me because we're not touching the ground, so we're not affected. We're not protected by Psychic terrain. So that's where my opponent made the misplay at. Yeah, let's your Choice Scarf on something like Braviary just outspeeds now. Yep. This is just a clinic again. I can see what my opponent was going for there. So it's not the fact that he misplayed, it's the fact that he misread the fact that Braviary is off the ground. Because even though we're terrestrialized, it still looks like we're off the ground, right? We're not touching Psychic terrain. So had I not been terrestrialized, he would have been able to go for that Encore play and Encore me into Protect. So I see what he was going for there. So it was a misplay, but I can understand why he would have clicked that. He just misread the fact that I was already terrestrialized. So that makes a lot of sense. Joe, if you're watching this video from the person I just played, I completely understand what you were trying to do there with that Encore. But yeah, once Braviary terrestrializes, it's not touching it's now touching the ground, even though it doesn't appear to be in its animation. But let's get into the next one. So we have another candidate for spam, but he also doesn't do well. So this is a team that I can lead Typhlosion plus Braviary into. He should lead Whimsicott with Rillaboom in the back, but he can never safely switch in Rillaboom, right? I'm gonna bring my Indedee. And Sneasler's offense is insane here. I hit everything on his team for super effective damage, except the Melodic, right? So I kind of like that. I do want to play with my Whimsicott too, though. Does it ever leave Typhlosion? Nah. I actually think that if he wants to play Tailwind, I can go Trick on with Indedee. So, what plays can we make here? This looks like Tailwind plus Hyper Voice. I don't think that one shot's Braviary, so I'm gonna go for Expanding Force here. Switching to Indedee. Okay. This makes me feel like I should have brought. And if he doesn't terrestrialize here, then he's not gonna get the KO. This makes me feel like I should have brought my Whimsicott. So we'll see. Alright, we are going for our Tera first. I don't think he's going for a Tera here because Ursaluna is usually max speed on these Whimsicott teams. But he is going for Tera, so we're just faster. But I think if he doesn't click Tailwind, we're in the game here. But I mean, would you honestly? Yeah, I have Typhlosion right there, so you're always gonna click Tailwind. But I think you click Hyper Voice, and I think we survive. Oh. Well, this is even better for me because you can't click Tailwind with Indedee right here. That's a cool play. Alright, I think you always click Tailwind here. Because if you don't, I just double KO you, right? Before you can move. Braviary gets so much damage even through the light screen. I'm seeing a lot of these light screen Whimsicott going around though from the one that won Worlds. It's actually a cool tech. If you're going for this play, that means you're not going for I don't think you're going for Tailwind if you're making this play. But you did click Tailwind. Let's go! Wow, you imagine if I just clicked Expanding Force? Like, Gholdengo's not taking Helping Hand Expanding Force here. And you can't Encore me even though it looks like I'm flying. He may even try to do it like the last opponent did. Like, Gholdengo can't take Expanding Force because it still hits neutral even though you're terrestrialized. Unless you have Dark Terror. You can't resist this. The unresistible attack is almost like Tera Stellar... What's it called? Tera Starstorm from this Braviary actually plays a lot like Terapagos. Because before I terrestrialized it's single target. Yeah, he did go for the Encore. He did the same thing the previous opponent did. It looks like Braviary is flying, but it's not. So what I was saying about Braviary though, oh my god, dude, didn't go survive though. But he set up Tailwind, so we good to sweep with Ursaluna. Yeah, that's specs too, because Indedee shouldn't take that much damage. But what I was saying is Braviary plays a lot like Terapagos, and it's because before you terrestrialize, Expanding Force is single target, and after you terrestrialize, it's double target. The only difference is Terapagos Tera Starstorm, I think, was more powerful before it terrestrialized and got weaker as it became a double target. And Braviary's move actually becomes stronger because it gets it doubles in power due to the terrain. And you get the boost in the from your Tera. That makes it do more. Oh, I didn't bring Ursaluna. Sneasler's still fine. I mean, he has Tailwind up, so he's gonna outspeed us. And we're not Psychic Seed here to clear Amulet. Right, he already Tera, so like I have a free close combat into this slot. You can't switch into that. And Dazzling Gleam will just KO Gholdengo from this spot. Now, he could try to start out Tailwind by protecting and swapping. I think that's his only play here. But he didn't swap, so, I mean, I just keep clicking close combat into that slot. think this is the last turn of Tailwind, so I'm gonna reverse Trick Room here, just in case he goes for a double. Yeah, I think he should go for a double here. I'm just gonna reverse Trick Room. Oh, that thing outspeeds us even with Tailwind. Nice. But we do survive here. Does Ursaluna faint from that? Alright, that's a 1 KO though. But now I just protect with Sneasler and we just kill Ursaluna. I mean, Ursaluna's gonna kill itself and we kill Typhlosion though, so we always win because we have protect here. Oh yeah. And the reason Godingo survived that Expanding Force Helping Hand was because Light Screen was up. Can you see? That was a resisted Expanding Force, and it almost one-shot Godingo if he didn't have Light Screen up. That is crazy damage from Braviary. This is such a cool game to showcase it too. And I'm glad that it happened with the both of the last matches, because you see how this Braviary can kind of play around your opponent. It looks like it's flying, but it's not. So both of my last opponents thought that they can Encore into it, and they couldn't. So that's really cool. So we just protect her and we just win the game from that point. My opponent might have thought he had a win here too, because I think he's gonna KO Typhlosion. But protect always wins with this game, and this is the value of protect. Oh, he wouldn't have KO Typhlosion anyway, so it was fine. Yeah, we won either way, even if we didn't have protect. But protect is still valuable to just to guarantee win, because crits can also happen too when you're moving first. Yeah. Trick Room ended up punishing us at the end because the Ursaluna was so slow that it still didn't outspeed Sneasler. Like, he literally has no speed investment on his Ursaluna, but he plays it in Tailwind. But that's probably why he switched it out, because it's so slow. Man, that's a weird lead with Whimsicott, and I guess because Whimsicott has Light Screen, you still lead it with Ursaluna just so you can make it bulky and just do a lot of damage. But that was a fun match. Let's get into one final game. So he has a Dark type and he has Wide Guard. And he has Rillaboom. So he has a lot of good counters into what we're trying to do here. And he has Rain. I think, would that be Hurricane Dragonite on this team? I think I lead Sneasler. I just pressure a lot with this. Sneasler and Indedee. I don't have a real good switch in here to swap out Indedee to reset my terrain. I could probably go Sneasler Whim. Yeah, I like Sneasler Whim. Indedee Braviary. So is close combat safe into Ursaluna here? It doesn't really have a good switching into it. I think I want to protect, see what he tears into. And Moonblast Dragonite. If he tears into Fairy or Grass, then he becomes threatened. Okay, but he's gonna hard switch. Rillaboom, okay. I can punish Rillaboom next turn by swapping into Indedee and then going for Dire Claw. Because I mean, you gotta. Also, I can just click close combat into Dragonite. I'm pretty sure you're going after Sneasler here. I don't see why you wouldn't. Yep, nice. Moonblast is okay. Chip here, just breaking a multi-scale in case he has it. But that's good damage. Special attack drop trade doesn't matter. Alright. So I think I can Dire Claw here. Switch out into Indedee. I really want to close combat the Dragonite, but close combat into that slot is kind of obvious here. And if I can stop his terrain from ever happening, then Dragonite is just significantly weaker. Yep, Dragonite switches. That. What do you have to resist fighting type Politoed? Okay, that makes sense. Did you Tera Rillaboom here, or did you just go for Fake Out? Oh, he didn't Tera. Nice, and we get the one-hit KO. And this is why you should use Sneasler. Now his terrain is gone, so we can't ever click that again. And close combat is, since he already terrestrialized, close combat is always guaranteed into this next slot. Actually, helping hand close combat. I think I'm gonna Tera just in case his Archaludon has Protect. I mean, I think I'm gonna follow me, because if he does have Protect, that's kind of deadly, right? Politoed could probably like knock out Sneasler with Weather Ball, so we're gonna play it safe. But he doesn't have Protect, so I could have went for Helping Hand just to KO Archaludon, but this is fine. I might still KO. Oh my God, Sneasler is so good. This is why you should use Sneasler. I know everybody's saying Toxicroak is so good, and because it has the dry skin ability, but Sneasler has really two good abilities. I could be running Unburden with Psychic Seed here, but I kind of like the option of not being intimidated on my close combats, and also just having a chance to poison if you do like having a secondary effect on like all my moves, right? I think that's really cool. Like Sneasler just ran a clinic here. Like there's nothing my opponent can do here. Like, Sneasler just one-hit KOs 3 of his mons. This was a perfect showcase of Sneasler. Yep, my opponent just canceled. Let's go. We gotta get a like in the chat for that, guys. I mean, the comment section for that. We gotta get, you know, Sneasler in the comment section. This Pokemon is so cool. If you guys are a fan of Sneasler, go ahead and put Sneasler in the chat for me. Just let me know if you guys like this mod. I may build another team that's specifically around Sneasler. The Sneasler was just kind of like an addition to the Hisuian Braviary team. But, you know, it's really strong at removing like a lot of things and pressuring things like Tyranitar. And that's kind of, Tyranitar was kind of tough for Typhlosion and Braviary. So that was the whole point of me adding Sneasler to this team to be able to threaten it, as well as Archaludon, right? It's really good into that core. But that was a fun couple of games, so let's get into a mid-rate review. All right, so getting into a mid-rate review, this team was so fun. I'm very proud of, you know, the teams I've been making for this format, and they all feel really unique and really strong. And it's really fun to finally get to use Typhlosion, Sneasler, and Braviary, because this is a format where they actually can thrive, and the power level is a lot lower, so they're actually able to be like actual mons and play the game, right? This Sneasler set is so cool alongside Braviary. Like, it really does help you against like a lot of things that Braviary doesn't really want to play against. And like specifically, I'm talking about Tyranitar. That's really one of the bad matchups for my top 2 sweepers. And Ursaluna and Sneasler really do help you, you know, kind of win that matchup. And also, like I said, against the dark types are the only thing that can be immune or resist the expanding force. And Whimsicott plus Sneasler just helps you with those matchups. So it's a really cool team, and it's really strong, and it has a lot of options into everything. You have Tailwind, you have Trick Room, you have a physical attacker, you have special damage, you have everything that you can really ask for on a team. And you also have Psychic Terrain to stop, you know, like priority spam from being able to move before Braviary and Typhlosion. And Esper Wing is a really cool move. It's exactly like Aqua Step, where it's a stab move that gives you a speed boost. And it's really good, and when you don't really have your own speed control with like Tailwind, and Braviary has Indedee next to it, and you want to be able to outspeed everything on the field, you just go for that Esper Wing first, then you outspeed everything, then you can move first with the Expanding Force, then you can go for like Helping Hand, Expanding Force, and then just sweep your opponent. Like, this mon is so cool, and I'm shocked more people aren't giving it a try. But if you guys do want to try this team out, there's a rental code up at the top right, as well as a Pokepaste down in the description below. Let me know with a comment what do you think about this team. And if you like this type of content, please think about leaving a subscribe for me, because we're continuing to grow the channel. And I'm putting out daily Pokemon content. But that's going to be it for these first set of battles. And I will catch you guys in the next one. All right, deuces.